So many people have trouble around the greens with their chipping, and it's a video I think that you'll enjoy today, because we've got with us Ben Hacker, co-founder of Mind Caddie, who's steeped in all of this stuff. He listens to it endlessly, but had actually forgotten to actually apply a lot of it. So it was a really interesting lesson where Ben admitted that he'd gone down the YouTube route of getting heavily involved. He was trying to improve his short game. He's just got some new tailor-made clubs and he was trying to improve his short game, but went down the rabbit hole of technique and ended up with the duffs and the shanks, and the Y word emerged for a period of time. The yips just kicked in. Once he understood the concept, it changed everything, and it really can change everything for you if you're clear on the skill and you're clear on the concept. Right, Ben, I believe there's been some issues cropped up recently with the short game.
Yes, there has been. So I'm relatively good at chipping.
Yeah.
But I really wanted to dial it in.
So what did you do when you decided you were going to dial in? What was the first route that you took to improve?
I stupidly went onto YouTube and got lost in a YouTube channel and loads of technique.
How many conversations have we had around
well,
this?
I know, this is why I feel bad. Obviously, as co-founders of Mind Caddie, you talk about not getting lost in YouTube swing techniques.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I went, did loads, was so excited because I was thinking, right now I know how to hit it slightly lower, I could hit it slightly more lofted, could do a bit of spin, and knowing that I've got skills, I was like, this won't be a problem.
Right.
And I went to play and developed the yips.
Really?
Yep, duffing it, knifing it. I even had a shank in there.
So a former good skill had literally just disappeared.
Yeah.
Initially, when you saw the YouTube videos, was it very much about you were involved about how you were going to move and what you were going to do in the? Yeah,
it was everything from like ball position to what left leg should be doing, to what arm should be doing, to what wrist should be doing through impact.
Right.
It's just a lot of information.
All right. Before we get into what I think will be some solutions, let's just watch you play 3 or 4 shots. No particular target. We're just hitting it in the sort of general direction up there. Okay.
And I start thinking about, like, the first one was quite nice, the second one was heavy.
Yeah, scuffy.
Yeah, and I start thinking about,
what am I doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. What am I doing wrong?
You know. Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean,
chunky.
That's it. 3 shots.
So you've got the full repertoire there, really. Right. So I think it's interesting with this that, you know, yeah, there's a lot of good content on YouTube, but I think we get lost in the form of it all instead of really isolating what skill do I require? What's the number one thing that you need to be able to do to be good at the short game is to be able to interact with the ground. The ground is far more important than the ball in the short game, right? So if we sort of isolate and say, all right, well, what am I trying to do? How am I trying to interact with the ground? What do I need to do? What would your interpretation of that be? How would you, if you were coaching me, what would you say that golf club needs to do to interact efficiently with the ground to collect the ball?
Just go across it. Like,
okay.
You know, I mean, and this is partly where I don't know, and this is how much do you study, is like, depending on the shot, should I be brushing it? Should I be taking a bit of a divot?
Yeah.
Like, or is it actually really you should just be focusing on a little brush?
If I push that a little bit further and said, okay, as you're using the golf club, turn the club upside down. Okay, if we look at the design of the club, we've got the front edge here and the back edge there. How would you want that golf club? Tell me how you would want that golf club interacting with the ground.
Well, this bit just brushing.
Yeah. So, what I want you to do is imagine the back edge was the wheels of a plane. All right. Now, you've got 3 possible options in terms of how the plane would land. So, option 1 would be crash landing, not good for the passengers. So, we'd be using the leading edge. Now, usually what happens with a pilot, hopefully this wouldn't happen, but if a pilot thought the plane was going to crash land, what would it do? Abort the landing. So landing number 2 is aborted landing, where you don't even hit the ground. And number 3 is the smooth landing. Now, here's the crucial bit to this, is rather than trying to change anything, first of all, and I think this is a fundamental principle of any change, let's just observe currently what is actually happening.
Okay.
Right, so I'm going to get you to play a few shots, and we're not going to label it as good or bad. All I want you to tell me is which of the 3 landings that you had. So what landing was that one?
That was a crash.
Slight crashy,
Yeah.
wasn't it? How did you know it was a crashy landing, that one?
Well, I felt it.
Felt it dig a little bit.
Before I hit the ball.
Brilliant. So just stay in that observation mode.
That was definitely a crash.
That was a crash?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. What everybody should look for is, what is my existing pattern? What is currently going on? Almost if I'm not thinking about anything, what's currently happening? So what have we observed for the first 2? It's hinting towards crashy.
Yeah.
Okay. What landing was that one?
That was a smoother landing.
Yeah, yeah.
That was definitely smooth.
That was beautiful. The passengers didn't even know they were down on the tarmac then.
Didn't even feel the
So that's interesting.
Yeah.
And this is, to me, just so important. You know, you're a good player, so straight away, because the pressure's been taken off of trying to get it right, and I've just had you merely observing what is actually happening, you've noticed that you were tending towards crashing a little bit. The last couple of shots, what's your system already done?
I mean, I actually don't know. It's just
I don't. Yeah,
yeah.
It's
I don't know. It's
just adjusted.
Yeah.
See, but this is the point of, if you realise what the actual skill is, as opposed to how am I going to do or how am I going to move. I'm not saying we can use any old technique. I'm not saying that. But good players, if you get really clear on what the actual skill is, and then you get them to observe what they're actually doing, it's amazing how quickly the system adapts. This tool is designed, you know, all the great designers over there, it's designed for that golf club to simply interact efficiently with the ground, to land the plane efficiently.
Yeah.
But you've you've instantly made a change there. You can't quite verbalise it, but why do we need to verbalise it?
Well, I guess from my perspective, it's so I can try and repeat it.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, if I know what to do, I just have to repeat it.
But that's a verbal description, isn't it?
Yeah.
As opposed to actually trusting the system to be able to do it.
But a lot of it comes down to that, right? It's trust.
It's trusting that if we've got clarity on what we're actually trying to do, this mind-body system that we've got is amazing. Now, what you can do to refine the skill, and this would be something I would suggest that anybody could do this. Right, so let's hit the next 3 shots, and I want you to deliberately feel a slight crash.
Oh, it's definitely a crash.
Definitely a crash, good. Subtly crash that. There you go. That was perfect crash, wasn't it?
Yeah, horrible golf shot.
Horrible golf shot.
But, yeah.
Horrible golf shot that you normally wouldn't want to experience, but because you're deliberately experiencing it, this is massive information for your system.
It also shows that I know how to hit a...
If you can deliberately crash it, and you can deliberately abort it, we can deliberately smooth it. So let's do another crash.
Another crash. That was quite nice.
Okay, that wasn't too bad, that one. Right, so let's go 3 where you deliberately abort the landing. Again, just subtle.
Yeah.
Definitely aborted that one, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah. Brilliant. So what does this show that you have control over?
Well, where the club interacts.
You've got control over the implement in your hand. You've got skill. Perfect. You know, we can argue forever. Do we use this release? Do we set and hold? Whatever. Ultimately, you can do all of those things if you have the skill of getting the club to interact with the ground. And I would much rather anybody focus on the skill rather than endless debates about which is the right and wrong technique of how to do it. So let's do 3 now, where you're back into observation mode. Let's just see what comes out. So again, you're just observing it.
Smooth.
That was beautiful, wasn't it? How good did that feel then?
Really good. You almost can't feel it on the club face,
Exactly.
which is normally a good sign. Bit aborty.
Slightly.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden now, most of these shots are what I would call 2s. They're eminently functional, aren't they? They're good enough. That was a lovely shot.
Yeah. I think for me, there's just limited, it reduces the variability. Those first 3 that I hit was like one went long, one was short, one was in the middle.
Yeah.
Whereas even those 3, they were all in play, like they were all potentially I could get up.
You're starting to control your trajectory now. And I think, you know, for most folk, before we get into all the refinements of do this and do that and whatever release it may be, let's just create a baseline of, can I interact this golf club fairly consistently with the ground, which you've just demonstrated there. You're not quite sure how and why and what you did, but you did.
Yeah.
And I think this is, to me, there's a potential of a tipping point with coaching, in the sense that we've spent so much time being told it must be this or it must be that, lots of opinions, but actually when it comes down to, it's just a fundamental skill of how you can interact the club with the ground.
Yeah. Totally.
What would you say you've taken from that, Ben? What would your takeaway from that session be?
Well, that I have the skill.
Yes.
And I have the ability to surf, like to do a nice smooth landing.
Yeah.
Like, I know what to do. I don't need to be thinking about my wrist positions or anything. It's just think about that interaction, and I know I can produce it.
Now, the difference when you're on the golf course is, instead of a shot being good or bad, and it's very easy to fall, oh, that was crap, that was, oh, I've got the shanks, I've got the yips, I've got this, that. If for the rest of the season you just judged every chip shot on the landing,
Yeah.
now we're keeping, it's much more objective rather than reactive.
I think I'm falling into the trap of, I base my chip shots on the outcome.
Yeah.
I.e. where does it finish near the pin that I was aiming for, rather than was my chip shot actually any good.
Yeah, did I land the plane?
Whereas now I should judge it on, was it this? If it then doesn't go near it, fine.
You've picked your landing spot, you know, and you've executed it here. But the thing you've demonstrated there is that you have the skill to influence the landing of the club. That's all you need.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you very much.
Very good.
Look at that. That's all you need.